So let's close our eyes and drop our awareness down into our body. And when you close your eyes and go inward, see if you can allow yourself to feel that this is a homecoming. You know, there's so much that happens in our days that take us outside of ourselves. And truly, our yoga practice is this opportunity to draw in, to go in and feel the gifts that this provides. So slow yourself down now. Let your breathing start to get steady and slow. See if you can pay attention to not only the inhale and the exhale, but the transitions between the two. Can you find those little momentary gaps where there's just this slight, not a hesitation, but a moment of quiet, where there's a suspension of the mind for just a moment. Especially try to linger just a bit in the bottom of the exhale. If you imagine the lapping of the shore, you know, where a gentle wave is kind of just lapping onto a beach and back toward the ocean. This ebb and flow of our breath can be so gentle. Find your own rhythm. Taking time to tend to your breath, to pay attention. You feel an ease through your shoulders, an ease through your face. When you feel ready to kind of come into the moving of your practice, let's place our hands together, bow in, and create an intention. Release your hands, and let's find our way onto our back. So as you lie down, take a moment to feel what that feels like too, the gift of a horizontal plane. Okay. So feeling what happens to all the fluids in your body, the muscles in your body, everything, you know, changes position with gravity when you lie down. And let's stretch our arms overhead and feel into the reach of your body. So maybe reach the right side and then the left. And just enjoy this opening and awakening. Breathing well. And then bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit, swaying from side to side. You can let your whole body rock, so don't worry about just your pelvis rocking. Let your head rock, your shoulders rock. Let your nervous system feel that rhythm. All right, and then slow that down. Grab onto your knees and let's circle a little bit here. So circling your knees one direction, 2 or 3 times. Going the other way. Opening up your knees away from the midline, bringing them back in. Just feeling into the rhythm of your hips opening up. Then right knee into your chest, left leg on the ground, and roll around in your ankles. So wiggle your toes, let your feet move. Feel the movement through your shins and your calves and the outside of your legs as well. A good squeeze into the knee, and then let's change sides. Left knee comes in, right leg long on the ground. Toes get to wiggle a bit. Allow the head to drop down, shoulders are relaxed. Roll around in your ankles. Breathing again and again. See if you can stay with that tending to the breath, sense of rhythm that you're cultivating. And then relax and stretch your limbs out like a star. Spread your body. Reach into your fingers and your toes. Exhale. Knees and chest come up. Head comes up. A little squeeze. Change direction. So on your in breaths, spread out. And on your out breaths, condense in. Let's try one more. Finding that long, spacious breath. And then put your head down. Bring your arms straight out to the sides. And let's windshield wiper our knees left and right, just allowing some movement. Breathing well. One of the things I noticed in hiking in the rainforest in Alaska, that area, Tongass National Forest, is a temperate rainforest. And the forest floor is so spongy and soft and so easy to get the feel of what yielding is really about when there's a part of when the ground receives you and then kind of bounces back. So as you move through your practice today, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that the earth isn't, a hardwood floor underneath you or whatever surface is underneath you? Okay, let's change sides if you're still twisting side to side, or maybe you want to stay on one side. Open up your ribs and breathe. Open up your hip and breathe. See if you can imagine that feeling of deep support, but soft support underneath you instead of something that's non-yielding. Okay. Bring the knees back into the chest. Let's rock a little bit. Then grab your strap and take it around your right foot and lift that foot straight up in the air. Keep your left knee bent or your left leg straight, whichever feels great for your body. While you're here with this right leg, let's point and stretch your toes. Just kind of getting into the calf, getting into your foot a little bit more thoroughly. Notice if your head wants to slightly pick up or your shoulders want to lift. See if you can let everything drop. Okay, and then a little stillness in your legs. Feel your right femur bone move into your hamstrings, away from your shoulders. Feel your crown and tail lengthen. Root down through your femur bone as you rise up through your foot. So even here, can you begin to feel the yield of your right hip dropping into the earth? Let's open the right leg out to the right. Feeling into that deep opening of your right inner thigh, your right inner hamstrings. Again, heavy head, melt your shoulders. The places that your body tends to want to work, see if you can let them be soft. Breathing well. And then pick that leg straight back up again. Let's cross the strap into the left hand. Right leg comes over to the left. Feel the outside of your hip open and stretch. Again, move your hip away from your shoulder so that you have that feeling of moving toward your hamstrings. At the same time, lengthen your crown and tail away from each other. Stretch through your foot. See if you can open up the bottom of your foot and spread it wide. And then inhale and lift that leg straight back up again. and put your left foot into the strap. Take your right foot out. Okay, let's enjoy this other leg, the new sensation of stretching. Drop your hip down, rise up through your foot. So yield that femur bone. See if you can root to rise. Heavy head and shoulders. Maybe some flexion points with your left foot here. So you can kind of move into stretching the top of your foot and the front of your shin, as well as your calf. Achilles. Then when you're ready, take the strap into your left hand, and we're going to open your left leg out to the left. Again, your right leg can be straight, your right leg can be bent. Your choice of how you're moving today. And just enjoy, moving a little slower. We're not up yet off the ground. Can you feel the restful nature of dropping your head and shoulders down? Ground your right side of your pelvis, rib cage, hip. Breathing well, finding that rhythm again of the breath. Lift that leg straight back up in the air. Feel the extension through your spine again. Cross the left leg over to the right, so strap is in your right hand. Left hand is in the hip crease if you want it or not. Your choice. You can bend your knee a little bit. You can have your leg straighter, whatever feels right for you. Stretch through the big toe and the inner heel. Move your hip away from your shoulder. Feel your crown grow. Feel your tail length. And lift that leg straight back up again. 2 feet into the strap. See what it feels like to have both legs extending at the same time now. Drop some weight into the pelvis. Feel a slight little gap under your low back. Feel the reaching of your feet and the dropping of your hips. All right, take the strap off. Leave your legs there. Start to invite some strength in your core. Let's bring our arms straight up in the air as well. So arms and legs are both up. Feel the length of your spine. Can you stabilize and wrap around your spine with your core muscles? Slowly lift your arms over your head, palms facing toward each other, extending through your spine, breathing well, and then let's slowly lower our legs down toward the ground. You can bend your knees whenever you need to get those legs down onto the ground. Once you're down, one more big giant star, big breath. Exhale, knees into your chest, head comes up, and find your way to your side. Rolling on over, coming up onto your hands and your knees. And let's find our way into a cat-cow. So move your spine. Enjoy the movement of your spine. Let it be slow. Let yourself feel what you're feeling. Feel free. Wag your tail, roll around in your pelvis, move around in your ribs, or your shoulders, or your head. So just let your spine get a little more free. Such a simple thing to do. Very, very effective for loosening so much around your vertebrae. And then let's drop back towards child's pose. And as you do this, can you feel into the compression in your knees, the compression in your hips? You can take your knees wide or close. You can have your arms up overhead or down. What feels good for your body? Breathing well. Okay. Let's walk the hands over to one side or the other and breathe into the side ribs. Open up the rib cage as best as you can. Feel the rooting of your hands. That is an anchor point to stretch your ribs away from. Feel the grounding all the way down into your pelvis. And come back, walk the hands over to the other side. Feeling that sense of reach and stretch. Relax your head. Full breaths here. Base of the skull is soft. And then come back up onto all fours and move the spine around again. All right, let's find a twist. Lift your right arm straight up in the air. And when you're ready, exhale and slide that arm under, twisting to the side. Shoulders are soft. Let your neck have some space. Breathe into the rib cage, opening some things up. Inhale, lift that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground. Switch sides. You know, this warm up that we do, it's something that's very, it's not too complex in the sense of requiring a lot of your energy, but even this can make a big difference. So if you don't have time for a full yoga practice, even if you just do the warm up that we usually do and maybe a sun salutation, it can be enough to treat your body with deep respect, open things up in a way that will help you feel good for the day. So try, even if you don't have an hour to do yoga, try to commit to caring for your body on the regular, whatever that means for you, whether it's a few days a week or every day or however often you feel like you need your practice. Reach that arm back up in the air. And hand comes down onto the ground. Let's curl the toes under and find dog pose. So let's practice that yielding here. So once you get a little situated, so take your time. You can kind of feel your way into this posture. Let your body open up slowly, maybe pedaling your feet. But while you do this, start to feel that you're feeling the ground, that it's not just a pose of opening your spine and your legs, but it's a pose of getting close to the earth. Your head is close to the earth, your hands and your feet are touching the ground. So let's feel into that rooting down, that yield. Imagine you're in that spongy earth that can receive you and then bounce you back out so that you have both the deep connection grounding, but also the ability to push off the earth and lengthen and find space in your body. So dance with those two seemingly opposing directions of dropping down, rooting down, and rising up. See if you can unify them, harmonize them, so that it doesn't feel like two different directions, but rather a singular expansion. How's your breathing? All right, walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Shake your tail, shake your shoulders, bobble your head. Inhale for a halfway lift, lengthening your spine here. Then exhale, melt and fold. Head is soft. One more time, a halfway lift. Spine gets long. Relax and melt the body again. Climbing up. Okay, find your way to stand. Reach your arms up. Lean back a little bit if it feels good. Spread open your wings. Cactus your arms if you want. And then bring your hands behind you. Open up through your chest. Feel the squeeze of your shoulder blades now. Hug them toward the spine. Find the open heart. Open your collarbones up. Then when you're ready, bend forward and reach your arms away from your spine. Wobble your head. Let it relax. Opening the shoulders. You release your hands down onto the ground. Come to a halfway lift again. Spine grows. Spread out the bones of your feet as you find a support. So I have my hands on blocks. Maybe you have them on your legs. Wherever you are, there's an extension of the spine. The femur bones can move back. Melt and fold again, relax. And one more time, rising up, bring your arms to the sky. Big breath, lean back, maybe a cactus arm so the chest opens again, and then release the hands down. Give your hands a shake. And then find Tadasana. So here we are. And, you know, it's not always so easy for everybody to move up and down. Sometimes the constant up and down of a practice can make people feel a little dizzy. So modify anything. You can always do less of that up down movement, or just take your time to settle into a standing posture after being head down for a while. Let your blood pressure get used to the changes so that you get adaptable in your capacity to be in different movements in your body. So here we are in Tadasana. Ground your feet, soften your knees. Breathe deeply into your belly, into your pelvic floor. See if you can let your diaphragm be as soft and relaxed as you can on the in-breath. Slow down your breath. Feel the rhythm again, just like we did in the beginning. All right, so unlock your knees. This will help you with the yielding. If we lock joints, we can't yield. Imagine the spongy earth. So drop your feet into that sense of surrender. Let your belly be soft a little bit so that you really can be receptive instead of rigid. Full inhale and a full exhale. And now lift your arms, open your chest, lean back a little bit, a smidge of a back bend. And exhale and fold forward. Bend your knees as much as you need. A halfway lift, hands can come on blocks if you want, or your legs. Melt and fold again. Let's step our right foot in the front and the left foot in the back, coming to a lunge. Get your hands up on blocks if you prefer that, otherwise on the ground. Let's just enjoy the hip flexor opening. Let's go back and forth with the front legs. So straightening and bending. Maybe your toes lift up, maybe your foot stays grounded, whatever feels good. Try to link up your breath to movement. See if you can close your eyes and go inside. Feel the inner workings of your practice. There's no goals or expectations. It's just presence. Put your back knee down onto the ground and uncurl your toes for a moment if your knee can handle that. Just feel the openness of the hip flexors. Hands on blocks, you can raise them up higher. You can even put your hands on your knees. So, find the openness of the heart. We're gonna come into a twist here. So first, just lift your left arm up in the air. Find that extension a little bit over to the side so you feel the openness of the hip flexors and side body. Cross either forearm onto your knee or elbow to the outer knee. Your choice. Twisting open. Stabilize your inner legs so the inner thighs hug to the midline. Finding breath. Coming back to center. We're going to bring our hands down on the inside edge of that right foot. The back knee is still on the ground. Extend forward through your heart. Collarbones widen. Feel the stretch back towards child's pose. Let that left hip flexor relax now. Coming back up, left foot comes in front, right foot is behind, knee is on the floor. We're gonna go backwards through this. So start with your hand on the inside edge of your left foot, knee stays down. Notice how this feels not having done the hip flexor stretch like we did on the other side first. Is it a little bit more difficult? Can you still feel the spaciousness and length in your spine without rounding? See if you can spread your collarbones and open the heart. Then climbing up, bring your hands onto the blocks. Extend into that hip flexor stretch. So we're, instead of being at a right angle with that front leg, we're really allowing ourselves to stretch forward with our pelvis. The back leg is very open. Open the heart. And then either keep your left hand on a block or on your leg. And we're going to reach the right arm up in the air. A little bit of a side stretch here. Feel into that openness. Breathe well. We're going to cross the arm, either forearm on the knee or elbow to the outer knee. You can bring your hands together. You can keep your hand on your block, whatever feels good. Hug to the midline with your inner thighs. Ground through your front foot. Can you feel the yielding? And come out of that pose. Lift your back knee up off the ground. A lunge on this side. Bending and straightening the front knee. Finding your way. Breathing well. Two hands come back down onto the ground. Dog pose. Your head is close to the ground. Feel the earth. Yield. Then push off and reach. Big long line of the body. Heart toward the pelvis. When you're ready, come forward into a plank. Hold your body steady and stable. Inner thighs lifting a little bit toward the sky. Hug toward the midline with your hands, with your legs. Find that stability through the center body. Your knees down, if that's helpful for you. Roll the shoulders a few times. Let things open up. Inhale, cobra pose. Big open breath. Exhale. Melt back down. One more time. Finding the big open breath. Exhale. And relax. Let's come rolling onto our right side. We're going to just stretch our quads here a bit. Bend your knees. Grab onto the top of your left ankle. If you can't reach, you can always wrap a strap. And then stretch that right knee away from your shoulder. See if you can keep your knee in line with your hip so that you're not lifting your knee high towards the sky. It's just getting into your quads, feeling your breath. You can pull your whole femur bone back a little bit more. Just see what feels good. And then bring that knee all the way to your chest, round your spine a little bit, and then switch sides. It's coming onto the left. We're going to bend your knees. We're going to grab the top of your right ankle with your hand, and then stretch that knee away from your chest. Feel into the quadricep stretch. Stabilize through your pelvis. Tailbone toward the knees, pubic bone toward the navel. Knee in line with hip. What you're feeling like you're in your depth of your quad stretch. There's two ways to deepen this. You can pull your heel closer to your buttocks. You can also move your whole femur bone back. So see what's available. Now notice again, if your neck and head want to be worked, see if you can relax. And then soften and melt. Come onto your back for a moment. We're going to come into a bridge pose, but we'll do this a couple of passes first. So ground the four corners of your feet. Inhale, arms overhead, pelvis lifts. And then exhale and lower the arms and the pelvis down. Let's do one more kind of practice run before lifting and staying. Pelvis lifts, arms overhead. And then pelvis down, arms down. Full bridge, interlace your arms underneath you or have your arms down on the ground, or robot arms where your elbows are down but your fingers are up. So just find the openness. Try to get your shoulder blades to move toward each other. We're rocking up to the tops of our shoulders. Make sure your neck is neutral. You don't want to feel like your neck is pressing into the ground. Lift your chest toward your chin, but not your chin toward your chest. Ground the four corners of your feet. Can you feel some yielding here? This is a full body pose. So where can you access a little bit extra awareness, a little bit extra effort in the body? Strength is, try to spread the strength out instead of just in one muscle group. Turning on your glutes, your hamstrings, your inner thighs, your outer hips, your back muscles, your shoulders are working. Press your arms down. And then relax and melt your body down toward the ground. Let's windshield wiper both our neck and our knees. So as your head turns left, knees go right. As your knees go left, head goes right. Breathing well. All right, straighten your right leg on the ground. Bring your left knee toward your chest. We're going to come into a little bit deeper of a twist here. So open up through your chest, left arm on the ground. Your left knee does not need to go all the way to the ground. It can, it doesn't have to. Just be where you are so you're both opening your chest and your spine. Come back to center, pelvis down onto the ground. Find neutral pelvis for a breath. This is a very big twist, so be very mindful of how deeply you're going in. Scoot your hips to the right just a little bit. We're going to pick up your right knee, draw it in toward your chest, then cross it over. And again, don't make the goal of the knee toward the floor. Make the goal both opening the chest and the spine and allowing your breath to move deeply. Let the head rest. Where are you touching the ground? And wherever you are touching the ground, can yield. Go ahead and relax to come out of there. Back onto your back, neutral spine, deep breath. And then let's open to a star. Spread open your wings. Exhale, knees into your chest, head comes up, round your spine for a moment. Relax your head back down, happy baby pose. Grab your feet, let your low back relax. You can rock a little bit if you want. Breathing well. Feet straight up in the air, arms straight up in the air, stabilized with your center body. Arms overhead, legs come down all at the same time. A big star once you're down there on the ground. Exhale, knees toward your chest, roll over onto your side. Come up onto all fours. Okay, so move your spine about, wiggling, rolling. Kind of get rid of all the poses that came before. By getting rid of, I just mean kind of integrate the traces of them. I don't mean get rid of them. Integrate them. Okay. Now take a moment here to feel these yielding practices where we drop our hand weight and drop our knees, feeling that deep surrender into the ground. Take your left leg straight back behind you and your right arm out in front of you. Stabilize through the center of your body. Find your breath. Take a deep inhale. And as you're ready, exhale, elbow and knee come underneath you. Inhale, bring it on out. Exhale. Draw it in. One more time. And place that hand and knee down. Find the grounding of all fours again. Move your spine around. You can wag your tail, do some circles through your spine. Okay, second side. As your leg stretches out and your arm comes out in front of you, thumb up, toes down. Feel your center body wrap around, front, back, sides. Breathing well. When you're ready, on the exhale, we're going to hug underneath, drawing the knee and elbow toward each other. Inhale, bring it on out. Exhale, draw it in. Press your shin into the ground, help you stabilize. Keep your hand grounded. Last time. Arm and leg come out. Hand and knee come down onto the ground. Feel the yielding again. Lift up to dog pose. Extending through your spine. Full breaths here. Yielding into the earth. Ground. Then rise. Slowness of the breath. Finding that rhythm. Walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Wag your tail. Climbing on up. We're going to do a couple rounds of the sun salutation. And so find your way to the front of your mat. Take a deep breath in, arms coming up. Exhale, folding forward. A halfway lift. Melt and fold. Step your left foot back, come to a lunge. Round your legs, rising up, crescent lunge. Arms open, feel the hip flexor stretch, open your heart. Full breaths here. Exhale, hands down onto the ground, back to dog pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale to a cobra. And exhale, find the ground. Inhale, all fours to dog. Exhale, melt here. Feel the yielding. Left foot comes forward. Finding a lunge. On your next inhale, rising up, crescent lunge. Open up through your body. Feel the heart expand. Round your legs, root to rise. Hands come down, back foot comes forward. Fold here. Halfway lift. Melt again. Rising on up. Arms to the sky. Trace down through the center line. Pause in Samastiti. Palms together. Feel your rhythm of breath. Ground your body into the earth. Free your diaphragm. Soften your knees. One more time. Inhale, arms up. We'll add a chair pose to this. Exhale, come to a chair. Your hands can be together. Your arms can be up. Anywhere that feels good. Draw your knees back into your hips. Find your breath. Inhale, stand up onto your tippy toes. Just find a little balance in there. Soften your neck. Exhale, heels down. Separate your feet if they were together. Fold forward. A halfway lift. Spine long. Exhale and melt. Step your right foot back. Left foot is now in front. Open up through your spine, rising up, crescent lunge. You can always do Vera 1 instead if you want. Back heel can come down. Feel the openness of your heart. Let's add a twist. Turning to the side, turning to the left. Finding your breath. Inhale, arms coming back up. We're going to add another pose. Turn to the side of your mat. Left foot is in front. Virabhadrasana 2. Find warrior. Drop the shoulders down. Round into your legs. Root your feet. Find your breath. Inhale, reverse your warrior. That arm comes up. Find breath as your left arm lifts. Parsvottanasana. Left elbow on your left knee, right arm over your head. Extend through your body. Find your breathing. Round through your feet. Feel the support of the earth. That spongy, receiving earth. Let it rebound through your body. Straighten your leg. Turn back toward the front. Bring your hands down onto the ground. Adjust your leg and bring it on back. Dog pose. Full breaths here. Full exhale. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Lower yourself down. You can do up dog, cobra, anything that feels good. Find your way to a back bend. On your exhale, melt and relax. You can come onto all fours first or go right to dog pose, your choice. Extending through your body, yield, push and reach. How's your breath? Feel into your flow. Right foot comes forward, finding your lunge. Climb up, crescent lunge or Virabhadrasana 1, your choice. Open your chest. Feel those hip flexors in the back leg open again. Full spacious breath, yield your feet. Twisting to the side, you can always put your hand on your hip or both hands on your hip if you want. Full breath. Come back up, crescent lunge. Turn and open up to the side of your mat. Adjust your angles of your feet. Bend your front knee. Toes are pointing toward the short edge. Virabhadrasana, warrior 1. Warrior 2. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. You can always have your arms down if you need to. So show you from this way, just in case you're forgetting which pose we're doing. Find your breath. Round your legs, open the heart. Yield, push, and reach through the body. Reverse your warrior. Open up that right side rib. Feel the spaciousness. And then elbow on your knee. Parsvottanasana. Round your legs. Feel the turning of your heart. Reach into the spaciousness of that whole sideline of your body. Round both legs. Yield them. Push them. Expand through your body. Come back. This time, instead of moving through the rest of the vinyasa, we'll turn our feet forward and come to rest our head down in an inversion. You can have your hands on the ground or the blocks, wide-legged stance. Thigh bones back, shin bones forward. Rest your head. Bring your hands back up onto the ground. We're going to bend our right knee. Just go wherever you can go. You know, you might go all the way down into a very deep knee bend. It might be much more subtle than that. Opening up the inner thigh of your left leg. Chest is open. Come back up. Walk the hands to the other side and find this leg opening up. Breathing well. And come back up. Wide-legged stance again. This time turn your toes out. Drop your hips, elbows inside knees. Round your legs. Feel the roots of the earth. Climbing up, standing star. A big breath here. Exhale, goddess pose. Ground your feet. Can you feel that yielding earth again? Root and rise. Standing up to a standing star again. Last pass through the rest of that vinyasa. Turn to the front of your mat for a dog pose. Find your breath. Forward into a plank. Knees can come down. Find the ground. This time we'll take the whole body. So legs wide, arms overhead, out to the sides or down. Everything lifts up. Feel the whole back body lift and engage. Melt and fold. Up onto all fours. Swish around in your spine. Drop back towards child's pose. Arms can be close to your sides or overhead. All right, pigeon pose, either on your back for a reverse pigeon pose or on your front for a more traditional pigeon pose. So sometimes, some days you might need 2 blankets underneath you. Sometimes you might need 1 blanket underneath you. Sometimes you might need to be on your back. So just find the posture that's right for your body today. Extend through your spine. Once you get into the position with your leg, remember your front knee can kind of draw out to the side a little bit more if you need it. Feel into your breath. So whether you're in pigeon pose like I am, or if you're in reverse pigeon pose, so whichever feels good, can you square the pelvis? So if you're in pigeon pose, try not to lean over to the side. See if you can keep things square. Pelvis is square. You can always support underneath your head with a block. If you're on your back, sit bones are wide. Try to keep your pelvis in a neutral place. Come on up, switch sides. Maybe you're in reverse pigeon pose on one side and regular pigeon pose on the other. Maybe both on your back, maybe both facing forward. Your choices always. If you're in pigeon pose, try to rest your head on something once you get into the posture. If you're on your back, try to melt your head so that you're not yanking on your neck and shoulders to do the pose. Find breath no matter where you are. The pose whenever you're ready. Come down onto your back. Put your feet on the ground for a moment. Just feel your body relax onto the earth. Scoot your hips over to the right, knees come up and drop left. Simple twist, turn your head. Breathing well. come up. Switch sides, scoot your hips to the left, knees drop right, head turns left. And find Shavasana. So this is a really important pose, pose of absorption, deep breaths, consciousness, body at ease. So as you get comfortable, do your best to stay. Even though your body doesn't move now or isn't moving now, see if you can still rest the mind within the body. It's a little harder sometimes when we're still to let the mind be at ease. See what it feels like to channel your mind into your body, feeling the limbs rest, feeling your skull relax, all the muscles around your skull, those fissures between the bones, everything melts. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Find some movement that's right with you. Your side when you feel ready. Bring yourself up to sit. So the gifts of practice. We get freer in our bodies. We get settled in our minds. We get present. So share these gifts. Send your care and love to another. Namaste.